Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be going through part 2 of my weight loss journey. So if you haven't seen that, I'd say watch that one first because it will lead on to this one. So 2012, where was I? I just lost 11 stone. I started boxing. In that first year of boxing I lost 8 stone. As you can imagine, 11 stone weight loss in such a short time, it will produce something called excess skin. You've probably seen people with like their bellies look like they're dragging down because it's the excess skin. So what I'm going to talk to you today is how I lost that excess skin, how I toned it up, and hopefully this will give you inspiration and help any of you that's experiencing this to let you know that you can do it. You can get to that look you want. So 2012, what did I do? So if you haven't seen the previous video, I urge you to go and watch it because it will show you my before and after photos. You probably can see it on the thumbnail. And yeah, so I'm going to tell you how I got to that after photo, how I got that toned up from losing that much weight. So what did I do? I did this high intensity interval training. Now you can get programs, you can buy actually DVDs that's got high intensity interval training, or namely one is Insanity, another one's T25. I can keep going and keep going. Personally, I've tried the T25 and the Insanities and I can tell you they are insane. I did myself, I did Insanity 3 times through, completed it 3 times, got the t-shirt because if you go through it you get a t-shirt. Do recommend it because it did help me. But what I'm going to talk to you today is how I kept toned and what I learned from that, and what I learned from being a personal trainer and a circuit instructor, and since then what I learned to hopefully give all of you a chance to get the same sort of workout without having to worry about buy things, so I can give you the ideas you need. So what is interval training? Interval training is basically what it sounds like. You go as fast as you can for a little short interval and then you have a break. Depends what your training is. So for instance, if you're in the gym and you're on an exercise bike, what I always try and teach my clients that I teach is, for instance, if you're just starting off, it depends on how strong your legs are, it depends on what level it is, but I'm just going to give a generic version. So level 8, I'd say go 100 RPM. RPM is revolutions per minute, so how quick your feet's going around on the pedals. I don't look at the speed, I don't look at the distance, I look at the RPM. Because that's the quickest way that you can maintain a certain speed and the easiest way to maintain it without such a big drop or a big raise. So I'd say top end, 100 RPM. I want you to go for 15 seconds. Now this is for beginners. 15 seconds. And then I want you to go slower, so about 70, no lower than 70, so above 70, for 45 seconds. So for 15 seconds above 100 RPM, for 45 seconds below, just above 70 RPM. So there's a bit of a difference in the speeds that you have to go. Now as you get more advanced, either increase the level, or what I normally would say is, right, 20 seconds now, go as fast as you can, above 100 RPM, and then 40 seconds below 100 RPM obviously, but above 70. And that's one way you can increase your cardio, increase it, and that's interval training basically. You do that, but you repeat that for say 10 minutes, so you're doing it 10 times in total, and by the end of it you will be feeling it. That's one way you can do it in the gym. You can do it with all sorts of equipment. You can do it with a treadmill, you can do it with a row machine. I'm sure you can do it with a stepper. I've not really thought about doing it with a stepper yet. That's one way you can do it. Another way you can do it is the way I like teaching in circuits, is you take 4 exercises with specific body parts. So I always say use your upper body first, so your arms. You could use your lower body. So for instance, you go your arms, so 4 exercises to do with the arms, then 4 exercises to do with the legs, then 4 exercises to do with the core. So you're giving your arms a rest, you're giving your legs a rest, and then you're working your core. So then I always go straight back up to the shoulders then. What I'd always suggest is, say for instance you do 45 seconds, each move, 4 moves in a row without break. At the end of the 4th move, have a 30 seconds break. So this is just breaking down what an interval sort of circuit would look like. So say you do 4 exercises on your arms, 45 seconds each one, no break in between, so you go straight into each one. After you've done all 4 once through for 45 seconds each one, you take 30 seconds break, you do it again, but each one's 30 seconds now, but you're going a little bit quicker or a little bit heavier, depending if you're lifting weights. Then you take another 30 seconds break at the end of those 4 again, and then you do it again, but this time for 15 seconds. Now you're going as fast as you can, and then again you have the 30 seconds break. Then you don't stop, you go straight into the next one. So for instance, you went from arms, then you go straight into legs. You do the same thing over and over and over. And by doing that, you're keeping your heart rate up high. You'll be getting a really killer workout for your entire body. Interval training will be designed to burn fat. And for a lot of people, they don't really realise is that when you've got loose skin, 99% of the time it's because you've got subcutaneous fat that's pulling that skin down. So that could be very, very small amounts of fat. So you could be really toned, really low body fat, but you still got that little bit of loose skin. That's because you still got a little bit of body fat that's pulling that skin down. And that could be the hardest body fat to get rid of, as I know from my own personal experience. So that's why I'm hyping up interval training, because it's designed to burn fat, and that's one of the best and quickest ways that I know of that will help you to lose that excess skin. Other ways depend on what body part you want to work. Think of opposites. So for instance, if you work on those bingo wings, work your bicep. Because if you work your bicep, it's pulling the skin up. So when you tense, the skin gets tight here. There's no loose skin there. Same with your core. A lot of people don't realise. If you want a core, you've got to work your lower back. You've got to work your back. Because you've got to think, pulls the skin tight back there. What's it going to happen? It's going to pull the skin tight on your stomach. And that's a lot of people don't know that. But that is one of the key things to get those killer abs, the killer beach body look. You know, you want to tone in that stomach, work your back. But you just got to be careful, because obviously the back can be very, very sensitive to exercise and it can cause issues. Get the right training technique, get the right moves, with the right nutrition, and you can tone up. And that's how I did it. That's how I went from this 22 stone person that couldn't even get on a bus to teaching as a personal trainer. That's how I went from, if you see on my previous video on the thumbnail, from the first photo, the before and the after. That's how I did it. That's how I made such a difference with boxing, because I was training constantly. Another thing that made the difference with loose skin is resistance training. So you can't just do cardio. You've got to do weighted exercises. Hence, that's why I always say try and do body weight exercises, and why I always try and teach body weight exercises, because I look at you're doing a resistance training because you're lifting your own body up. Say you're doing press ups, you've got to press your own body up. So you're lifting your own body weight. And the reason I always say do body weight exercises is because you can do them anywhere. Anywhere you've got a decent square, like 2 meter square, you should be able to do a body weight exercise. And doing that is resistance training. That you don't need the gym, you don't need no other equipment, you just need your body. That's how I went from the before photo to the after photo. As you heard in my previous video, I'd done a ton of cardio, I'd train with the boxing. What made me lose 8 stone in 1 year. I would train morning and evening 6 days a week. But with that, I was doing this interval training. I'd be on the punch bag, I'd say, right, 30 seconds, go fast, little short break. 30 seconds, go fast, little short break. And then I'd go into, say, 30 seconds left punch, or jab, then 30 seconds straight into straight right, and so on. And I'd do the circuit, my own circuit in my own head, specific time in it. And that's how I did it. And that's basically my story for up to that point. If you want me to go more in depth, I can easily go more in depth, but I've tried to cut it down as short as I can. I know this video has been going on for a little bit of time, and previous videos even longer. But if you want to hear more about how to tone your skin up, exercise ideas, if you want me to go through a circuit idea, film it. I might be doing that soon anyway, but if you do, please leave a comment. Please leave a like if you found this video helpful, and please subscribe. And I will see you next time.